So what are you doing there?
Yeah, I was just trimming the edge up.
Alright, so you got a 7/8 inch blade.
Yep.
You want to
basically about the same
trim
here.
down?
Yeah, maybe a little bit shorter.
See, what I do when I'm about to trim a blade is I look at both ends, and the best end we want to keep.
Right.
For the tip.
Yeah,
you know, because sometimes it's like uneven at the end.
Yeah, there's a little
This
bit
one's
of
uneven. So we will use
that
this end for the tip. This is like a clean end.
Okay.
And then what I normally do is, since you're holding that knife, here actually let me grab something from over here.
So this is our clean end up here, right?
Yeah, and here mark it with a mark it where you want to cut it with this wax pencil. Okay. So I'm gonna cut down his blade here, just to tell you how long he picked. He picked like a 30.25 inch.
Yeah, 32 is a little long. It goes into the hilt about 1.5 inches.
Well, this is 30.25, so this will be about 28 when it comes out. Okay. So I'm just lining up my.
And I'm a smaller guy, so I like a smaller blade.
Yeah, a lot of people like the smaller blade is easier to wield.
Definitely.
It also saves all the lamps and all the ceiling fans in your house.
And you know what? I've broken 3 lights on 3 separate ceilings, 2 on one and 1 on another.
It also is really good for a saber with a very limited blade depth. Like in my Anakin Attack of the Clones lightsaber, which we showed during Saber Talk, it's called the Tusken Slayer. It has a very limited blade depth. So if the shorter you make your blade, the better it is if you have a short blade depth emitter. I don't know what you're dealing with inside your mace.
That's going in my mace. It's about 1.5 inches in.
Oh yeah, see, so that's not. It's okay. For dueling and stuff, I like to have 2 or 3 inches. You know. So what we're gonna do here?
I don't heavy duel.
We have a little lip that was created because of the pipe cutter. So what you do here is you want to keep your hands clear and use the sharp blade. Sometimes I switch out blades depending on what project I'm using. And I'm going to angle the blade down so that the parts that I'm scraping off of the lip don't slide into the blade.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the blade clean.
And I will twist the blade a little bit,
like
just to cut, yeah, just to get rid of this lip. And using my finger, I can feel
where it's still raised.
Yeah, like what's pricking my finger. Just trying to keep the surface clean here because I know that Harris is going to come in with some film. If you get any piece of debris inside your saber blade, you will see that when it lights up, or it'll
don't mind
around.
That. You know, I have that old book at home, that prop book. I think I showed it to you a while ago. I actually forget what it's called.
Oh yeah.
But it's from like, I'm gonna say it's probably from like the 80s.
That had the lightsaber designs.
It has lightsabers in it. It has like Obi-Wan, Luke's, and Vader's in it. And they actually talk about what makes the blade work. It's actually pretty cool. I
think you sent me the text, and I kept it, yeah.
So very cool, but they say that the protons bounce around inside the blade. So if you have a little bit of dust, you know, you could always just say, well, it's a proton bouncing around inside the hilt.
It's a spare neutron.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have a clean edge. Now, when you cut with your pipe cutter, that's another reason why we wanted the blade tip end to be the raw end, or the way it came, because sliding the tip into this is going to be better than sliding the tip into this end. This end is going to be hidden inside our emitter, and that's good because we had made a mark.
You got a couple scratch score marks, but that you won't even see that. That goes inside the hilt.
Pipe cutter, so that's another reason why this part will be hidden. This clean edge, this raw edge, will be the edge that you see. That will be connected with the blade tip, which I'll show you in a minute.
So you like to insert the film next. I usually cap.
I've actually never made a standard blade before.
Oh, really?
Every time I make a blade, it's a string blade.
It's the same thing as you do basically, but no LEDs in it.
Yeah.
So here's our film. This is Corbin film. It does have a little bit of tape on the edge. And I don't mind getting a little particle here or there. Try and cut that tape if I can. So, and I usually, when I wrap this stuff, I usually wrap it
to the length here.
Say again?
Do you have to trim to the length?
Yeah, well, I mean, we can do that afterward. Actually, I usually insert it and get an eyeball.
Okay.
But if you want to trim it to the length, let's go like this. Let's go right there.
Because you do need to.
And we'll trim it right about this line is actually pretty good here. If you want to cut it on that line.
Straight edge.
It can be, I don't care if the blade film hits the edge of the blade. It can be a ½ inch up a little bit. And you won't see that anywhere. So, yeah, I would say cut it on that line right there.
Did you get through?
You might have scored it. Or cut a little deeper.
A little deeper still. Actually, see, this is my blade for dealing with the blades, but I have a different blade for actually cutting things. That's why I should have changed it.
We get the idea how that works. So now what we need is some type of a straight, a long. You have like a dowel of some kind?
Yes.
Like a wood dowel is what I usually use. Perfect. Yeah. So what I like to do is just take this guy and yeah, why don't you come on over here and help me? We're gonna roll. We're gonna roll the blade up over top of this.
How tight are we rolling?
Just enough to get it into. Yeah, you don't want to kink it. You know, because kinks do show up as little imperfections in the paper. So I'm actually a little sloppier than you are up here. But that's good. That's good.
Should we restart?
I killed it. Yeah, let's restart it. Are you going kind of tight?
I was going kind of tight and then letting it unravel a little bit inside the blade, I guess.
Loosen it. Keep going. Keep going. We're going to shove it right in there anyway. Okay.
Can I actually do maybe this end first? If it's tighter?
I like the pre-cut end.
Right.
Up at the top.
Right, that's a good idea. Oh, I see. With the 7/8, we have to be a little tighter.
Yeah, we got to wrap it a little tighter.
Oh, okay, that'll work.
Once you get it in there, slide it down.
I'm taking the wood out. That's another trick I use, is to kind of rotate the blade a little bit to get my foam up in there. And, oh, that looks good. Maybe it's a tad too long.
It's a little long, yeah. So we can trim that out
with a scissor.
And what do you use to mount your blade tips? I use that glue. I think I had given you some of that.
Yeah, that clear stuff
did that work
dried
for you?
up on me, so I bought another container.
Okay. So I'll glue this on later at home because I have the glue. I have a whole container at home. So for right now, we're just going to press fit the the blade tip in there.
This stuff here.
That's the same stuff I use.
You had given me a container of this, and then it was actually dry because I kept it too long before using it. So I got myself another one.
Yeah. Now we need to. I'm going to let you do your trimming magic up here because there is an inner lip in here from where the blade was cut, and it doesn't want to allow the tip, the blade tip to go in. So mind you, I bash with these, so I don't care if it's pretty.
I actually have to do this sometimes too, which to get the tip in. Sometimes I do have to
the
take
diameter
a little
of
off.
the tip. Yeah, there's too much meat in there for the tip to fit in.
That should do it. Now, since Harris is using,
I pulled the. Here's the little. All these mirrors come with a little film on it that protects them. I pulled that off already.
Yeah, so to make this kind of standard blade, he's going to use the mirror, so he gets the bounce back of the light.
Correct.
But if I was making a blade that's a string blade or a strip blade, I would remove the mirror by
hollow it out a little bit.
By by inserting my knife in between and twisting.
You can pry up that mirror. That mirror is just a sticky back.
Yeah.
It's actually a very pliable mirror. You can actually bend it. It won't break. It's a plastic mirror.
And then I will, kind of drill that out to insert LEDs. But
so that way the tip lights up more. Now this particular tip actually has a little edge to it where it's not... so
what I do is there's this is a little piece of leather that is actually a photographer's tool. It's kind of like a paperweight.
Yeah, mount it there.
So what I do is to keep everything safe and straight.
Beautiful. I got news for you. You probably don't even need glue in that.
Yeah, I mean, for most applications, that's going to be fine. If you're doing heavy dueling, it might pop off.
I actually, for my heavy dueling blades, I wrap a little piece of packing tape around the end so I don't lose the tips.
Oh, okay. I've lost them in the woods before, and that kind of stinks because you don't.
Yeah.
All right, so
we
that's
need to trim
all
about
the way.
about a half-inch off of there.
Yeah.
So we can actually just come here, and there you go.
Okay, now grab your saber.
Now you can actually. I use a little bit of tape. I put a little piece of Scotch tape in there because the glue is too permanent for me. My blades tend to fall apart sometimes, and I'll rebuild them. You have an Allen key?
Yeah.
But I like it that my blades can come apart and then I can refix them.
Let's see if it's one of these.
This has this little, too small.
That might be the one.
So this is the blade plug for this saber in particular here. So now it's open and you can see inside. You can see the Tri-Cree LED, royal blue, deep red, and standard green. We're going to put this in the saber. We're going to fire it up and see what it looks like.
I did add a little piece of Scotch tape there.
That's perfect. That'll hold it in place. Let's shove that sucker in there.
Is it a tight fit on that 89 sabers?
It's actually a pretty... If you want to pull it out... Oh, I'm sorry. I popped you in the head. You want to pull it out?
Let me turn this light up.
It's fairly decent.
Oh, okay. It fits nice, yeah.
Yeah, it fits nice. Like butter.
That looks good, like a good length for that too. I think that's a really accurate length.
Go ahead, buddy. I'll let you fire it up.
Cool. It's got a purple one.
It's going to wrap around, go through the greens, then the blues, and then the reds. Go to the reds next. Get the orange.
Oh.
Nice red. That's the deep red.
Oh, that's a nice
getting
purple.
Into the purples.
Yeah, see the light from is like has a nice center core, and then it seems to lose a little as you go up to the
loses
top.
A little bit at the tip, yeah. And I believe that's from the 7/8.
Yeah.
I think that the 1-inch blade allows it to drain a little bit more towards the tip.
And also, I wonder, have you tried, or like, what does foam look like with the trans white 7/8?
Never tried it.
I wonder with
I like the clear blades. I like the way the clear looks on film.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that.
I like the way that looks. I wonder if it was a trans white tube, would the light carry more around? Because as you can see with the clear blade, we don't see the clear blade. We're seeing the film.
Yeah.
So I wonder with I bet you with a trans white, it might carry the light
inside the clear.
Actually, you know what? Even though
it's lighting up the tip pretty good.
Even though it has a mirror, it's lighting up the tip pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there on the outside, like take a look right here. Take a look here.
Like the mirror doesn't go.
So
to the
yeah,
edge.
the mirror doesn't go right to the edge. The mirror comes in a circle like this. So there's some open area of the plastic that allows the light to shine through to the tip.
That's a nice purple. That's probably accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Not real loud because of the small speaker.
But the before making this just now, you didn't have a blade for this?
I actually had a blade, and about a year ago, and a friend of mine needed one, a 7/8.
Okay.
I contacted
Came
him.
out nice.
I just gave him the blade, and I've had this one sitting for. It's literally been sitting for a year in the package. I just never got around to building it. I figured we could pop it together tonight and do a little insider piece on how to do a standard blade.
Yeah, looks nice.
Beautiful saber, 89 sabers. They make nice stuff.
What other models?
Oh God, they did
have
a
a bunch?
Graflex. They did a Graflex. I think they did an Obi-Wan. I think they did a. I think you're talking about a Star Killer.
Okay.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Really nice.
Very
Well,
nice.
Harris, thanks
Very
for
nice.
showing us how to do
Awesome.
the
Good job, boys.
7/8 inch blader. It works with either style blade. I mean, you use the same method, and you can make the 1-inch blade. If you had the nylon, is the nylon diffuser that I use for my string blades, is that only for? Would someone like you use a nylon diffuser? Or
I haven't.
That's not.
I bought one about a year or two ago from TCSS. It was actually too thick at the time for the LEDs that I was using at that time.
Okay.
So I ended up not using
It may just be made for string blades. I'm not sure.
I don't
I was
know
just
either.
wondering.
Yeah, I'm
Because
not
I know
sure.
they make the same insert for the 7/8, and I purchased some just because I do make 7/8 sometimes. I really like
string blades or pixel
yes,
blades?
pixel blades.
Okay.
I really like the way the 7/8 inch pixel blade looks with the
With the LED strips in it?
like you kind of need the thin strips because the thick ones doesn't leave enough room for the diffusion that you do need.
Gotcha.
But it is pretty nice and smooth when you see the 7/8 in action.
Very
with
nice.
the Neopixel too.
Very nice.
And I do think it's kind of accurate to the way like the Rebels cartoon looks.
Yeah, a little thinner.
Yeah.
Those
yeah.
sabers are a little thinner on that on the show. And I'm a fan of Rebels. I really did like it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Great storyline. I hope we see more of Ezra. They killed off Kanan at the end. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Love Kanan.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he was a great character.
Yeah, they did a good job with that show.
Loved it. Good stuff. I'm not a Star Wars hater. Just the Last Jedi. Just the Last Jedi, man.